Alright, hi out there in the YouTube world, it's me, the Puzzle Master, and we're going through the Nakshatra series today, and we're on number 18, which is Jyeshta. It's the third and last sign that falls in Scorpio, and so with Scorpio we have to remember that it is a water sign, so water is emotion, so they're going to be, everyone's emotional, but they more so. At least when it comes in, especially if this is your moon, it'll apply more to like your inner mind. They're very fixed, so that means that like in their ways and their habits, they're very slow to change those things because they feel very strongly opinionated about however things are right now, because they have justifications and rationalization for that. And then being ruled by Mars, it's kind of like, and Pluto as well, because Pluto's in there, right? Secondary ruler, but Mars being like initiation and action, god of war, it's pure energy, it's that initiative energy to take action, god of war. So we want to remember all those things, but then for further subdivision, to go into Jyeshta, so zooming in Scorpio, to the final nakshatra in it, and it's actually like, I know in previous videos I did say that like nakshatras are very good at defining cusp signs, but there's 3 points in the nakshatra zodiac that it actually parallels with the cusps of the 12 zodiacs, and that's between any of the fire signs and the water signs, because water and fire clash, okay, right? Just as a, because even with like relationship synastry, like it air goes well with fire, and earth goes well with water, but earth, blah, blah, blah. But when you have water and fire, they tend to be clashing, and so when we have that cusp point, there actually isn't a nakshatra to define that cusp point. So, and there's very strong energetic karmic ties associated with any of those cusp points. So, and there's only the 3 different cusp points, so for the most part it pretty much gets it down pat when it comes to character nature. So, Jyeshta, its class is servant, but it does this from like an elder perspective. Of all the nakshatras, it kind of has the most cold or icy stern, like a royal queen. Like, and it says royal queen because in the mythology there's like the queen of the moon, and that links to this. So they have kind of that like nobility, like head held high, they know what they've worked for, they know what they have, hard effort, good game, you know what I mean? The nature is demon, so might be a little more on the negative tone when it comes to, you know, being self-oriented, not giving so much about the collective consciousness, but more caring about themselves, and more negative elements associated with having a demon as your nature, because there's demon, like angel, or human. So there's the 3 different spectrums. So they tend to be a little more negative, but in a competitive way. Their ruler is Mercury, so god of communication. So we take a water fixed Mars Scorpio, and we combine Mercury into that, which is like the god of communication and the bridge from our inner world to the outer, or from our inner to someone else's inner world, and the connections that are made in that relationship that change people, because that's Mercury. The symbol for this nakshatra, like the specific symbol, is a round talisman, and in India and in this nakshatra meaning, it means like authority figure, and it gives divine protection, and it's very symbolic of kind of an elder figure, like having a pendant or something that is of divine inspiration that will help to protect them. So, the animal, which is used for like more of like relationship or sexual compatibility, the animal symbol kind of is a summary of the more basic animal nature of the nakshatra, and so if you have signs that are equally compatible with the animal, regardless of what other aspects and such go on in the charts, the animal nature will be very strong. So if you have, like, in this example, we have a male deer or a male hare. So for looking for its opposite, you would want a female deer or a female hare. And it's regardless of what your actual gender is in this embodiment, you go with the gender of the nakshatra. The element is air, as Mercury is related to the ruling planet. So very communicational, higher mind thoughts, very, like, kind of in their heads. And there's a strong need to move as to Mercury, like where they have, like, their internal thoughts make them want to do all this stuff, but they feel restrained by the world because they can't do all the stuff that they want to do. Myths that are associated with Jyeshta are Indra, the chief of all the gods. But it can also be symbolized as a celestial drop, because it's still compared to the whole universe, right? In mythology, the story of Lord Indra was also an example for being daring, courageous, powerful, charismatic, and having a glorious nature. And the main ideas that are associated with this nakshatra are that it is first, preeminent, most excellent, the eldest, senior most, supremacy, power, domination. If this sign is afflicted with other planets in opposition or in conjunction with it that don't serve the moon well, or whatever planet is placed here, but normally you go with the moon sign for nakshatras, then it can be afflicted, causing sorrow or poverty. Because, like I said, any of the cusp signs between the fire, or water and fire, that lie between the two, have heavy karmic dues, so things can be felt very strongly in this lifetime. So if they're afflicted, then even more so. Traits that are associated with this sign, they are more focused on keeping up with an image in society. So they're all about, like, the image. They want to gain respect and fame in society, first and foremost. They mature very quickly. So they're very mature, acting, and serious. It takes more. They take their studies more seriously than most people would. So when it comes to school and all that, they're very head in the books. They get the stuff done, serious, get her done kind of expression. They are very good at introspection, and they can see their own shortcomings. So they're very good at, like, self-analyzing themselves, keeping regimen, keeping to schedule. Not in the way of, like, a Virgo. Like, I don't mean, like, with notes and all that, but I mean through noble. Like, through trying to keep up, trying to be the best that they can be. Kind of high and mighty a little bit, if you ask me, but everyone's nature is a little different, right? Yes, and they can judge themselves better than others. So, like, they get very good at the self-analysis, but when it comes to other people, they kind of think that everyone thinks like them. So, kind of skews the view of the world when it comes to other people. Very good at self-analyzing, but not so much on others. They always complain, because the whole being ruled by Mercury, even though they often, almost always, attain what they want, but they complain in the meantime until that happens. Like, even though it's their own fault, usually, for not taking the initiative actions, but they complain in the meantime. They are very vengeful, and will take down anyone that threatens them or stands in their way, or anyone that affects their image in society or of the world. They just can cut people out because they don't want things to threaten their image that will bring them down. Because their image is really important to them, especially, like, the world, that, like, the image of how people see them. Because, like, it's so important for some reason. Like, yeah, and they will treat you very badly if you affect their image. So, yeah, in that. And they will cut people out of their lives if they are exposed or in a weak position. They pride themselves on self-control, responsibility, and they are very great achievers due to this ability of self-control. Their appearance is they tend to have very penetrating eyes, very serious eyes, so penetrating but serious. And they're normally very honest due to their stare, because their stare isn't like misguided, it's just like intense. You know, this is Scorpio, it's intense. And they have that attribute associated. So, yeah, I hope that this video was informative and helpful. And yeah, we will see you in Mula, which is over the cusp now. And then we're going into Sagittarius, which is fire. So, the Archer. And yeah, we'll see you in Mula. Bye.